welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and I am finally taking a look at Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Armada Optimus Prime, and he is a nice, big commander boy. I'm just going to start out with the rolling, because I'm like with the trailer, and right, we've got a mix of tires and casters here. It feels really good to roll him in hand. I know I did Motormaster not too long ago. I think at this point I've reviewed all the commanders except for Ultra Magnus. And this, after playing with it and enjoying it, this is definitely right up there with like Jetfire. I think and I know spoilers for the review, I guess, but I think everyone knows how good this is already. I think my ranking is Skylynx, Optimus Prime, and Jetfire. And then right below that, Motormaster, and then below that, Rodimus Prime. But this is fantastic. So I guess for some context, I don't have a ton of nostalgia for Armada. I have seen the series. I didn't watch it when it first came out. I watched it after the fact, but I like this design for Optimus Prime a lot, and it's really neat to see this. I think, if anything, I have nostalgia for this truck. The super mode is less important, but it's just a really neat and unique Optimus Prime design. So as a commander, he obviously is nice and big. We get a cab and then a trailer, and it is like a sci-fi combat trailer, which I dig. There is some lovely paint here. We can see, I'm going to, you know what? Let's just kick up these stands, because we're going to essentially talk about these separately. We've got little stands back here that can kick out, so we can set our trailer to the side. Optimus Prime, we've got some big old robot hands back here, but we do also have some lovely paint. It's a great mix of this nice looking pearlescent red, silver, silver smokestacks, a little bit of gray peeking through, but I love how little of it shows. I guess minor complaints, it is like a little long in the hitch. It feels like this should be taller and this should be shorter. But I recognize it's a sacrifice that was likely made for robot mode, and with how good robot mode looks, it's a sacrifice that we're willing to make. Nice big chunky tires. I've been doing this on my desk. He's as big as it is. He's been a desk toy because I've just been fidgeting with it. It's been really, really good. Some nice little details. Again, we've got a big old peg, like bigger than a 5mm port, for his trailer to go onto. And robot mode is like decently hidden in this, I think. A nice little Autobot symbol here. And yeah, I mean, this evokes that Armada Optimus Prime look. His trailer, which this gun you can, and I'm not going to show it, but if you wanted to, you could get it as you're closing things up. You could close things up so the gun sits in the center. But we have some missile launchers here. We've got the side vents. We've got casters that roll really well on these treads. I think I would have liked maybe a little more silver paint around the treads, like picking out some of this mechanical detail, stuff like that. But overall, it's a nice looking trailer, a really nice like Optimus Prime swoosh here. Looks real good. Nice big Autobot symbol, a little bit of gold, but all around looks nice. And the type of gray they use is this swirly pearlescent gray. It's not that lifeless gray plastic, so points there. And yeah, he is nice and big and chunky all together, and he looks pretty good with the other Legacy Evolution Armada figures. And I'll say Legacy Evolution Armada fans are dining well right now. We gotta show Optimus Prime and Megatron next to each other. Here they go. I really like this scaling. I like that, by themselves, Megatron is, in fact, bigger than Optimus Prime. It's a nice Voyager to leader class, and he feels heftier, too. Things like they're about the same length. So it looks like they can go up against each other in a pretty good, even match. But, obviously, we get the trailer added on in the super mode, and Megatron is going to have to upgrade next year to deal with that, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. In addition, I don't have the Starscream mold, but I do have Hot Shot here. So here's how they look together, and I think they look fantastic together. Really, really dig it. Yeah, I've got the Powerlinks paint job here. I'm looking forward to eventually getting the Powerlinks paint job over here. I want that blue, baby, that blue and red. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, again, nice big Voyager class cab. And with that, there's really a minimal play pattern in this vehicle mode. We're gonna flip out the cab for now, and we're just gonna do transformation on the cab here. And for this mode, it's a pretty simple transformation. We're gonna come in and we are going to bring out and separate out the hands. They tab into the sides right here. We're gonna come in up front into his grill, and the front pieces of the cab are gonna fold out and away on a double hinge. Let me see if I can show that one more time. There we go. Then the grill folds down, and it can fold down and collapse, revealing our robot mode head. With that out of the way, we can separate out the shoulders, flipping our wrists around. Then we can bring down on another double hinge there we go, sides of his chest piece, like so. And the last step is, I mean, that's basically right, his chest all done. Then for the legs, we need to untab the tires and flip them around to get them out of the way and let him split out his legs, which we can now do. Just get in here and pull. And it'll also undo some of these tabs here. So you can come in and untab his butt flap, retab. I pulled a little too hard. We can retab his centerpiece. And then with all that done, it's just opening up these shins. And I do want to talk about these shins. These were super tight, hella tight here. I have seen, people have been talking about stress marks. It's an easy thing to fix. You come in, there are 3 screws here. You're going to undo this one, and this one. Pulling them off will separate out this panel and let you take this shin piece is seated on top of a rod. You can undo it, and that's going to be super duper tight. And you're just going to sand the inside of the hole that the rod goes into and the outside of the rod, and that'll make the fit loose enough. I mean, it's still plenty tight. Like, look at that. It's not like going anywhere. It's not flopping around, but it's loose enough now where there's no residual stress as you turn this. And yeah, this is Optimus Prime from Armada, and he looks pretty dang fantastic. I am really happy with this look. This is, again, like I said, this is the Optimus Prime I envision when I think of Armada Optimus Prime. On my shelf, I do want the Superlink version eventually, but this design, like the big grill chest, these like high shoulders, this squat body with these like big hip skirts. This is what I think of when I think of Armada Optimus Prime. And in fact, out of the whole Unicron trilogy, this is the version I think of. I think a lot of fans think of Cybertron Optimus Prime, which is totally valid. But for me, this is the version I think of. And he looks great. Again, like a lot of nice silver and gold. We get some more black accents here. We have a great Optimus Prime head sculpt with awesome yellow eyes. A very heroic looking, like swept back ear fins. I don't know what you call those. We get more of this gray showing up. And this is a little muddled in terms of that gray that like absorbs those plastic details, but it's not too bad, and it helps offset the rest of him. It's a very classic Optimus Prime colors, but a very cool new Optimus Prime design. And in the tradition of Armada Optimus Prime, he is very poseable. If you didn't know, there's a Bendy Prime, a deluxe Armada Optimus Prime, that was known for being highly poseable for its time. So we've got good head wiggle there. Look at that. He can look down. He can look up to the stars. He can look at you and point with his forearms, smokestacks, gun things, which are awesome. That's another great Optimus Prime design. He can do a full 360 on these shoulders. He can get the shoulder out so far, and then if you want it even further than that, you could start like kind of breaking up the sculpt a little bit to get a little more articulation there. Nice bicep swivel, nice deep bicep curl. I really appreciate that. He can obviously break his arm for transformation purposes. but it does give you a nice deep curl. The wrists are set in here, so they're a little tight, and you got to kind of get your finger in there, but if you notice, they do rotate, which is always appreciated. He does not have waist swivel, which is the biggest shame, but I think it would have been very hard to put it in a joint in here. You would have essentially needed to make a joint that could, it would be two C shapes that could interlock, so that when you transform into super mode, it could break itself apart and then rebuild itself. I think it would have been a difficult piece of engineering, but it would have been a very welcome one, especially at the Commander price point. We do have hip skirts that get out of the way, so he can do the full Van Damme, which is awesome. He can kick up so high, and he can, again, break his knee. He can kick backwards. His skirt gets all the way out of the way, so he can kick all the way back. He does have a 90-degree knee bend, no further than that, but still appreciated. Thigh swivel, ankle tilts. Yeah, Optimus Prime looks fantastic. He can, if you want to give him this gun, he is able to hold it. It looks a little oversized, but I think it fits the Armada aesthetic pretty dang well. And it does have a side 5mm port, so you can build things onto it. It does have a front 5mm port. The thing you'll notice with this Armada Optimus Prime is, like Megatron, he does not have any Power Links ports, any Minicon ports, but just like Megatron, he does come with enough 5mm ports on different parts of his body that you can take a Micromaster that has, you know, a handle on it somewhere, and you can stick it here to give him, you know, the illusion of having a Minicon powering something up, or maybe on the side of his gun is cooler. Yeah, I like that. So that is kind of neat. And if we're comparing him to Megatron, I again think they look awesome battling each other. Like, this is really, really cool to have on my shelf in this form. I'm excited to get, you know, just more Armada guys in general. Here is Hotshot. There's how they look together. So yeah, he's nice and big. Like, I mean, he's a good Voyager class figure, just the CAD. But obviously that is not all there is. Let's get to their base mode. So this is the part that's probably going to take the most takes. We'll see how many attempts this takes. I always seem to mess this up, but we have this trailer, and it does unfold out into a base mode. Starting out, I'm going to fold... actually, I'm going to leave these pieces down. Man, first step, and I forget something. We have... These side pieces are tabbed in up top to the legs, and then down here to this piece. We are going to just wiggle things loose on both sides so that we can take these side panels and undo them, allowing us on both sides, there we go, allowing us now to lift up and separate out this piece from this top piece. And this was tabbed into two tabs here, which were in two tabs here. With that done, this center piece is tabbed into the sides of the trailer, which we can separate out, and kind of just unfurling everything into a big mess for temporarily. Next thing we want to do is we're going to take these side box pieces, folding them. They have an accordion joint to bring them around, and then the rod that we left out can fold in, closing up that piece here. Same thing on this side, taking the whole thing, folding it, closing the rod here. With that done, we can close this panel, which has a piece from this panel that lines up right here to kind of securely click that in place. Same thing here. So with it spread out all the way, we close that panel, bring it up, and we can close this panel on top. Am I forget? No, I wasn't forgetting anything. Okay, closed securely. Next, we are going to flip and rotate around this whole section, keeping these panel pieces out. We can flip this piece all of the way around, and it has 2 tabs in the blue section that are going to 2 slots here, coming down and tabbing in. We can fold down each of these panel pieces, and then the gun section comes up and can collapse in on itself. And there we go. Here is a base mode. And it's not much of a base mode, and I don't, you know what, I'm like debating with myself. Maybe that section does stay down. It, to me, doesn't do a whole lot. You can take this gun and you can stick it up, not there, on any of these pegs here. And you know, you've got a gun platform. Optimus Prime can kind of stand here. I assume that this is some sort of play pattern that was in the original toy, but to me this isn't much of a base mode. Base modes, when I think of like high quality base modes like Jetfire, not Jetfire, like Skylinks or Tripticon, those sorts of base modes, they have like all sorts of places for like smaller figures to interact with. This doesn't really have that. It's got, you know, a seat, kind of. You could fold, like, if you wanted to fold this out and pretend it's a little chair, you could do that. But other than that, all it's got is this turret. But the point is that this isn't really what this is for. This is just like an extra thing that it could do while you're folding it out. Because really, we're here for the super mode. And I think we're going to start the super mode with this piece. All right, taking off our gun one more time, bringing down this piece, getting it out of the way for now, flipping around this section, and this section is just going to fold up, and this red piece we want to get up and ready. We're kind of just prepping this for now. We're going to take the legs and we're going to bring them both down. We can flip down feet on either side, flip out these back pieces, and then flip down these legs, panels, collapsing them, and you can see, oh yeah, that's basically done. We're going to rotate this whole section around, bringing down what we can now see are the skirts of the whole ensemble. And this piece, and if I remember, gotta flip these panels up. This just kind of hangs off the back. I don't believe this does anything, except it'll maybe tab in. Oh. This little piece always wants to come out of its slot. But I'm going to hold off and I'll look at the instructions after we do the rest of him. So I believe we got the legs like 90% done. Gun, set it aside. Let's get to getting our Optimus Prime in the correct mode. All right, starting out, we're going to bring these arms down. Oh, actually, before we start out, one last thing. I totally forgot about this. He does have, if we open up his grill, he does have a little matrix of leadership, and it can be removed. And I actually really like what they did with this piece. It is, can we get it out as I want to get it on camera? So you can see like there's a little jewel. It kind of has a pink color to it. And that's really neat because, this is the unfortunate part, is it's for my copy, maybe I need to shave this piece down because this is really hard to get out. There we go. So here is the matrix, and if you look, it is a totally transparent jewel piece in the center, which is neat. And it's really just, this is red plastic, they painted it silver, but if you put the matrix back, it makes it glow like this little like pink. To me, it like has a little pink glow to it, which I think is really, really neat. But yeah, I totally forgot. Yes, he does have a matrix of leadership. How embarrassing. Okay. Let's get to this transformation. So we want to get his arms up and out of the way, and we're going to for now, we're going to get them up there. We're going to fold in his feet, like so. But then before we collapse these, we're going to flip out his robot hands. Big old gold robot hands. And they do tab in very securely, which I appreciate. Next, we're going to split apart at the waist, bringing up his matrix, split apart at the waist. This whole waist section splits apart and flips out, which is really neat. Kind of coming down and around, unfolding out, revealing our super mode head, which we can get out here. Get it up and out of here. We can leave this section out. I found this a little confusing until I saw what had happened to it in general. The arms are going to collapse in like so on a Z pattern so that they can come back around, and they have a tab on this blue section that is going to tab right into this gray slot here on either side, which is a neat little bit of extra lock-in. I do like between this and Motormaster how like securely things lock together. Bring down the arms, and we have, you know, that iconic chest section. We're gonna leave this. There's a little more to do, but I want to put them together first. Okay, so with this backpack, we have this part of the grill. It's gonna slide right in here. But when I say slide right in, I think that implies a level of like ease that I do not associate with this. I feel like it always takes a little bit of finagling to actually get it to go in where you want it to go. Again, going back to like locking mechanisms and stuff, we have, did I forget to close these up? I did. We want to close these up. Make sure I'm showing that grill. Close that up. That lets us bring the whole chest down, a nice thick ka-chunk. I can see that my camera is just a little short. All right, you can see this red piece in the back. There are 2 tabs here that they're just going to come down and lock them in. So I love that there's like 3 locking locations on this back piece. And then this, we're just going to fold up. And we are going to, you know, every time I think to myself, oh, I've got it. And every time I remind myself, ah, here we go. Nope. This clearly like folds up, and I just looked at the instructions off camera to like remember how to do this. I'm gonna be right back. We're gonna figure this out. Dang it, my instincts were right the first time. I just messed it up. So we're gonna unfold this, and it doesn't need to fold out all the way for it to collapse back. There's 2 tabs here that are gonna just come in and tab very securely, giving him a nice skirt. The very last thing that happens is we're gonna drop his chest down, bam, and we're gonna fold out his wings, bam, and here is Armada Optimus Prime in his super mode, and he looks pretty dang cool. Like I said at the beginning, this is not the mode of Armada Optimus Prime that I have like a lot of nostalgia for. I don't actually like this design. Is I respect it, but it doesn't do much for me. But it is a classic part of Armada Optimus Prime, so I really respect that they gave it to us. And it is nice and posable. It's a lot of fun to play with. This version of it, I think, makes me like it more than when it was on the original Armada toy because it's posable. And it is pretty dang posable. I mean, let's get in on that head sculpt. That is some lovely yellow eyes, a lot of gold. It is at least visually distinct, right, with all that gold. That looks great. But do you notice you can tilt and waggle, all that fun stuff? His shoulders, oh, that's a lovely ratchet. That's all fantastic. His arms, they can bend 90 degrees. His wrists do have articulation, and he has some finger articulation. Still has a 5mm peg, or port, which I really appreciate. Waist, he does have a waist in this mode, which I really, really appreciate. The legs go out. They do have a nice big ratchet when going forward and backward. I do wish, like, that is a complaint that there's not a ratchet going outward. That's a shame. The backwards articulation is not going to be that big because obviously we have this big skirt in the back. He does have, lovely knee articulation. Fantastic. Thigh swivel, of course. Nice big ankle tilts. And yeah, he is big and posable and mean and just looks, I mean, he's not mean, but he looks like he can kick some butt. And he certainly can. I mean, this is proper Commander class. If we're putting him up against Megatron, right now Megatron is woefully underpowered. He definitely needs some help from Tidal Wave. But here is how they look together. And this is what makes me want the full, like, Armada cartoon crew, because I definitely want more Autobots to go with Optimus Prime. I mean, he just looks great. He looks great. And again, like, he's going to be on my shelf, but so there's two color patterns that if Hasbro does them, I'll instantly pick them up. We're obviously going to get a Scourge. The question is Scourge going to just be the cab, or is it going to come with a full trailer and be Commander class? But that's the black repaint. I mean, it's a fun repaint, but it's not something I want. The Power Links is also really likely, just like we've gotten the Power Links Hot Rod. I think we're going to get a Power Links Optimus Prime, and getting that blue with the red stripes, like the color inversion, that would look really cool. I would definitely pick that up and replace this with that. This would probably be a giveaway at that point. The other version, the one that I would lose my balls if they did, I would just go insane. If we got the Costco Optimus Prime colors, right? That yellow and red. Like, what a weird color scheme. What a great color scheme. Here's a picture of it. I would love to get him in either the Power Links or the Costco colors. Would be fantastic. Fingers crossed, knocked on wood, you know, all that stuff. Please, 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 gimme. I'd be super excited for either of those color schemes. But yeah, as is, Commander Class Optimus Prime, if you've got $80, this is a great way to spend it. I feel like we've been pretty spoiled. Hot Rod was a low point in the Commander Class price point, but everyone else has been pretty dang solid. Optimus Prime here is a banger. Excited to check out Ultra Magnus when I get a chance, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you all later. Bye.